begin her new teacher training program in 2026. Self-paced training in 2019. Namaste.
Namaste.
This is Aparna from Shubh Connections, and today I have pleasure of welcoming Christine Dunworth. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you.
Christine is the founder of Yogra Yoga in Maynooth, and she is going to begin her new teacher training program in 2026. So it's a YTT 200 hours, and we are going to find out loads of information about that. So without further delay, I want to ask Christine, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
And what actually brought you to yoga?
Oh, that's a big
Very
question.
quickly. I know I'm asking big question, but I want a short answer.
I definitely was struggling in my mind and my body at that point, and I was in a job I didn't really like, and I wanted an outlet. And I heard that there was a yoga class on Friday evenings, and I started to go to it, and everything changed.
What
after
age
that.
were you then?
Oh, I was probably 28, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what made you from a yoga student to wanting to become a yoga teacher?
I think my teacher Paula instilled such a love of yoga in me, and
my teacher.
and she just always showed me that it was possible to share the love of yoga with other people. And she was running a teacher training, and she asked me would I like to be part of it, and I said yes, I would. Now it took me 3 years to get to the point then of actually from when she started doing the training until I was able to take part in it, because my children were very small at the time and I had other commitments, and it was the right time. When I did it, it was the right time. And I think that always happens, that things happen for a reason, and it worked out really well in the end.
Yes. And I remember in 2019 when I did my yoga teacher training at Yoga Yoga with Paula Metten, Christine, and Maeve. So these three were my teachers. So when did you start teaching at Yoga Yoga as in a yoga teacher training program?
Straight after I qualified.
Wow.
So immediately after I qualified, I asked Paula if I could assist her. And she did need somebody to help. So my job was to come in the morning and greet the students and light the candles, make sure everyone was cared for. And then as she was teaching, I was physically hands-on assisting during the asana practice in the morning. And then I would support her throughout the day as well. So I learned so much in those years from Paula. And then it would have been around 2019 when Paula had said to me that I had taught enough hours and had enough experience that I was then able to teach a small portion of the yoga teacher training with her. So with your group, I used to teach some of the asana.
Yes.
So teaching the students how to teach postures and how to assist the postures. And yeah, it just went from there.
Lovely. And when did you start your own yoga teacher training program?
So that was last year. So in March of last year, I took on my first group of 200 hours. There's 12 students, and this training had been in my mind for a really long time. In particular over the pandemic when we went online. And then I had finished up working for Paula maybe around the end of 2021. And I had reopened my own studio, and I just could see there was a gap for in-person trainings in our locality. And I really missed doing what I love, which is teaching other teachers. So I set about writing my own training around that time. And it took a few years, obviously, to get everything right and to launch the training. So I had the group of students ready to go last year, and they qualified in November, and they're just incredible. They're all out there in the world teaching.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And are you very excited about the 2026 yoga teacher training? How
Very.
is it going? What it looks like?
Yeah.
And do you have many signed up? Because as I know that the teacher training is starting in March.
Yeah.
So it's only probably 6 weeks or something
Yes.
left. So how many students have already signed up?
So we definitely have 11 students. I will take 12, maybe if people really, really want to come on, I might take 13 or 14. We'll see. But yeah, the training is looking pretty full at the moment. And everyone that's coming on this year has such a beautiful, deep personal story. And none of them are coming into it going, oh, I want to be a yoga teacher and that's going to be my job and I'm going to set up a yoga studio and be a millionaire or anything like that. They're all really coming on it for a personal journey with a view to sharing yoga in their community. And hopefully then this is a seed that will be planted that may grow into something else.
Yes.
And I saw that with the students last year as well. Most of them were saying, oh, I'll never teach, I wouldn't be any good at it. And I was saying, that's why you're coming on the course, And at the end, it's just, it's great to see the students grow throughout the year and to develop as people and as teachers and as yogis.
Yeah, so you have brought up a very important subject here, that people come to yoga teacher training for different reasons. They don't necessarily come to just start teaching yoga or open up their own studio. Sometimes they just want to transform their own yoga practice. They want to get deeper into it. So obviously, one thing that plays a very important role in going deeper into the yoga practice is by understanding philosophy. So, how do you integrate yoga philosophy into your yoga teacher training?
I always like to think of the philosophy as being weaved through every aspect of the training. So it really is the foundation. And once we understand why we're practicing yoga and what yoga really is, then we can start to live a yogic life and teach from a very authentic place. It's very important to me as well that we teach the philosophy and that the students or the student teachers have a real understanding of it. And I think I was so surprised at how much they all really enjoyed it last year as well, and how they asked for more and more of it. But it's weaved in through everything. So while we do have a very specific philosophy module, which of course you teach on, along with myself, the philosophy is weaved through everything. It even comes into play when we're doing the anatomy. And Andrew, who's the anatomy teacher, he weaves it through everything that he does, because not only is he a medical doctor, he's also a yoga teacher and a lover of yoga philosophy. So it's just ingrained in everything.
Amazing. So it sounds like there is a good team of teachers who are going to teach in 2026 yoga teacher training program at Yogra Yoga in Maynooth, which is in-person training program, because it's never the same. If I did my teacher training in person, I did 2 teacher training and both of them were in person. So sitting in the same space with the teacher, with other fellow students, you just share so much. Your presence offers so much. So if you have done even any online teacher training before, so you can maybe take this opportunity. And there are only 2 or 3 spaces left now. So this is your call that you can book now before it is too late and you will be told by Christine, oh, we are full, house full, we are not taking anymore, but maybe you can go in 2027 waiting list where you can sign up for the program. So maybe give us a little glimpse of your team of teachers that are part of your yoga teacher training.
Okay, so there's myself, Christine, and then there's Mary Gardner. So Mary Gardner is the founder of the Yoga Picnic, along with 2 other incredible women. Mary also has a studio in Kilbeggan called Fire and Earth Studio. She's a mom of 4, And Mary was actually a student with me on my original 200 hours. So we come from the same lineage, the same background in teaching. And we had quite parallel paths in the way that our teaching careers have gone. And I brought Mary on board because I just felt she has such a wealth of knowledge. She's a really kind, caring person. She's strong in body and in mind, and she's just an incredible human being. So,
and who else do you have?
Of course, I have yourself, Aparna. So, of course, our journey goes back to 2019, and our love for philosophy and our love for everything authentic, yoga related. I feel that you really bring that wealth of knowledge, and you have this strong history and connection with the home of yoga, with India. And yeah, I think the students really appreciate that it's not just coming from me, that I've learned it from a book, it's coming from you, that you're living it. You're really able to share your experience with them. Then I have Andrew, who is our anatomy teacher. So Andrew is actually based in LA, even though he is Irish, and he provides the anatomy and physiology module. Now, that part of the training is online and it's self-paced. So it's 30 hours, which probably sounds like not very much, but it actually is, and you get a certificate of completion with that as well in anatomy. And as I mentioned previously, Andrew is a medically trained doctor. So it's great to have two medical professionals on the training who really understand the human body and how it relates back to yoga. So yeah, really bringing those two worlds together, the energetic body and the physical body. And I think that's what makes yoga so different to any other movement modality.
Yeah.
Then we also have Nicole O'Kelly, who was on your training in 2019. And Nicole is a doula, and she is a mom as well. She's a yoga teacher. She holds a lot of women's circles and does a lot of women's work. So she comes in and she does a day that is focused on restorative yoga, just as a little sample almost for the students to experience restorative yoga and the importance of rest. And she also teaches the students what to do if one of your students who's practicing with you becomes pregnant. And what do you do in that circumstance? You're not going to open the door and say, you've got to leave now because you're pregnant. You're going to keep them there until a certain point. And she educates the students on when is the appropriate time for your student to then move on to pregnancy yoga. Another really important thing, which I think a lot of people don't think about, is what if you, as a yoga teacher, become pregnant, during your teaching journey? Can you still continue to teach while you're pregnant? And I've seen this a lot, obviously, with the younger teachers, not like myself. My children are all grown up. But with the younger teachers, they have this fear, I want to plan to have a baby next year. How can I still sustain my yoga teaching? So Nicole goes right into that. And I think that's a really, really valuable thing to know as well.
Amazing. So that sounds like a fantastic team. And I'm really grateful for Christine for coming to the studio and telling us all about 2026 yoga teacher training, which is starting soon in March 2026 at Yogra Yoga in Maynooth in Ireland. So if you are interested, then you can contact Christine directly on her website. And on her website, all the contact details are there. You can even ask me and I will direct you where to go. So yoga is a living wisdom. It's not something you just do on your mat. And that's what you learn in yoga teacher training. So it's not only for certification and opening your own yoga studio, but instead it is something that can transform your life, the way of your being, and you become from doing to being. So thank you, Christine.
Thank you, Aparna.
Namaste.
Namaste.